Hey Carol, how are you?
Good. Hey, Dave.
We're at the Watauga County Farmers Market after the first opening day, and hoping can share a little bit about what's going on in our local food system. So maybe you can share who you are and how you're connected to local food.
Sure. I'm Carol Coulter, and I was the former executive director of Blue Ridge Women in Agriculture. I was also a founding member, and I'm former only because I finally retired. A founding member of Blue Ridge Women in Agriculture, and my husband and I run a goat dairy called Heritage Homestead Goat Dairy.
So as a grower and someone deeply connected with local food, what changes have you seen in the last 2 months?
So I think the changes are related to the coronavirus and the shutdown of non-essential businesses like restaurants and wineries, which greatly affected our wholesale. Pretty much it's non-existent. So that was a loss. And then also our agritourism. April is a really huge month for us people on the farm because we have baby goats and you can bottle feed them and do cheese tastings, and that was significant income lost. On the other hand, the food hub our trails have more than quadrupled there, so that has been super helpful because regardless of whether we sell cheese or not, goats need to be fed, and we have kept on our staff and we are paying our staff, so the sales at the food hub are definitely helping us at least stay even. So that's been really exciting, and it's really exciting to see people turn to local agriculture, and I think a lot of them are really stepping up and supporting our local farmers. I think they're starting to get it.
Why did Blue Ridge Women in Agriculture form about 20 years ago?
Yeah, so right around 2000, a group of women who wanted to farm or expand kind of their homesteading operations were looking for assistance and how to do that. And when we kind of turned to some of the male farmers, they were a little bit discouraging and really, it was like, oh, you don't want to do it, you won't make money, it's hard work. And so we got together and tried to figure it out ourselves, and we would meet once a month on somebody's farm or property and get a tour and talk about possibilities, and usually there was a training component, so either they brought in a speaker or somebody had researched something we were interested in, and then we had a potluck meal after that, so it was a real good community. And from there, almost everybody who was a part of that original group is doing something with agriculture even still 20 years later, which is pretty exciting.
Why is it important to still lift up small-scale farmers?
Well, I think small-scale farmers are becoming a more significant piece of the bigger food picture. As a small-scale farmer, we can make quicker adjustments. I think because we're not so large, we're not hit quite as hard as changes in the economy. And it's really important. One, there's an aging farmer population, so getting new young people into farming is super important. And it takes training. You might be able to figure out how to grow something, but how to be efficient at growing it, how to market it, where to market it. Those are not intuitive things for many people, so the training and the sharing of learnings and learning best practices and standards to keep our food safe is super important, and Blue Ridge and Women in Agriculture provides that kind of training and coordinates it, which is really essential for small farmers to be, and new farmers in particular, to be successful.
So what can folks do now to help Blue Ridge Women in Ag form a more resilient and just local food system?
So I think several things. One, Blue Ridge Women in Ag is a nonprofit and relies on fundraising and local support. And the greater and more diverse that local support is, the more sustainable they are. Relying on grants to support you is kind of it's unsustainable, let's put it that way. So local people supporting Blue Ridge Women in Agriculture and supporting our food hub and purchasing at the food hub, which derives some income for Blue Ridge Women in Agriculture. And more important, it mostly derives income for our local farmers who have, again, basically lost all of their wholesale accounts. And so it's really important to have this direct to consumer opportunity to sell and for consumers to buy really healthy, fresh food. So it's very important. If Blue Ridge Women in Agriculture were to go away, it would have a really significant impact on our local food system and our local farmers.
What gives you hope for the future?
So it's really exciting to see how many people are turning to local agriculture and supporting our local farmers. The food hub is certainly a safer way to shop. You go online, you order, you come and pick up your food, so there's not a lot of contact. The people who are handling the food are using, again, super safe practices, masks, gloves, sanitizing regularly. And so I'm really excited about that. I'm really hopeful that it continues and it's not a quick sort of like, okay, during this crisis time, but then we're not gonna, I'm hoping we're there for you in a crisis, and so we're hoping you'll be there for us when the crisis is over. And it will only continue to strengthen our local food system. So that support is super, super important and really gives me hope for the future.
Thank you.